Welcome aboard our very first
I'm not
episode
cutting
of
that.
2022. We're talking Twitch shenanigans, the winter 2022 anime lineup, and a return to Stardew Valley. This is Triple XP.
Triple XP.
So I'm Shane, joined by my usual co-hosts Mike and Cheese. And
Hello.
firstly, we want to wish you all a happy new year, as it is the first episode of 2022.
Yeah,
How are you both?
Tired.
Yeah, same. Always tired. Forever tired.
New year, new me, but I'm still tired.
New year, the same you.
Yeah.
That's the route I'm taking. Nothing's changing.
I'm just a little bit older. That's it.
Yeah.
A little more angry.
Hate the world a little more this year.
So me and Mike had
turning into like three miserable dudes.
We're going to have to rebrand this podcast as just three miserable old men.
Honestly, that is a fantastic idea. I'm not kidding.
Just triple XP of miserable bastards.
Triple XD bags.
So me and Mike had the pleasure of jumping on Team Chat's podcast this week. So we've already had a bit of a chat. Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't want Cheese. No, they did invite you, but you were busy doing a job.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to do some more work with them so that you can get involved. But we kind of covered with them our best moments of 2021 in gaming and the things we're looking forward to in 2022. So we thought we didn't really want to go down that route for this episode because we've done that with them. If you want to know mine and Mike's thoughts on that, then you can go check out their episode. If you want to know Cheese's thoughts on it, then get fucked because you're not going to find out now.
I have no thoughts.
Yeah,
I'm playing old games, so it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm playing anything new.
If you really want to know Cheese's thoughts, you can ask
Tony
him on
Hawk's.
Twitter.
Yeah. I don't recommend my thoughts on anything. It's fine.
Well, yeah, there is that. But yeah, we've got a few different things we want to talk about today. There's been lots happening since the last episode we had, an open episode like this was November? Because our Christmas episode took up, that was all of December. So we haven't had an actual open chat episode since November.
You might be right.
So, Mike, do you want to kick us off? You've got some shenanigans you want to bring to this table.
Yeah, so I just kind of want to talk about Twitch this week, just because it's been the thing I've been thinking about the most. With jumping back into streaming and going more down the route of like wanting to create more content and things like that, and hopefully bring in sort of triple XP to that platform as well of Twitch. I was looking at sort of the payouts and things like that, because although it's not about the money, it's a little bit about the money. Like, we're all doing it as a hobby and we all love what we do. But like when we make a bit of money off it, it all goes back into the streams, and we all get equipment. And we're not pros at this, but like we've all bought a bit of equipment off a Twitch payout and shit like that. Like,
tattoos,
it does help. So yeah, you got to look good for the stream.
This bad boy right here.
Yeah, so I was looking into like the money side of it, which is the first time I've really done that. Like I've been fortunate during my sort of like stream career to receive like 2, 3, maybe 3 payouts, and you hit that like $100 mark before you can get a payout on Twitch if you're an affiliate, and they take like a 50% split of like all of the subs that you get, which is a huge amount when you look at things like Patreon, Fan House is another one. There's Ko-Fi, I don't know how you say it, but they don't even take a percentage of your cut. So I was kind of like looking at different avenues and different ways to support, but it's kind of the tricky part of that is just pulling people off one app to another. I think it's so like embedded in the system of just sort of like what do you want when you press the sub button to someone? When you subscribe to someone, like what's going through your head? Like what's the thought process behind it all? And I'm just intrigued by it all. I just kind of want to know like your thoughts on it as well. Like if you ever like subscribe to anyone, like what's going through your head at the time?
I mean, I can say since I've really only been around on Twitch for like 2 years or 3 years, I guess, whenever COVID really started, 2 years. And before that, I'd never really watched anybody ever. But since then, I can easily say I've only ever subbed to like friends, you, Jedi, Lunchbox, whatever. And that's even that I don't do that very often. I'm definitely one of those people that love to like make things fun. So if I can be like, hey, I'll PayPal you $5 to buy a box of spicy beans and you're going to eat them on stream, I would 1000% do that. And you would get the full $5 versus Twitch, which that's kind of the issue. I mean, like I said, I did do a sub goal and I actually hit it on some miracle of getting a cheese tattoo a couple years ago, which is a lot of fun and people had fun doing it. And that's an important factor. But at the same time, if I ultimately got $100 payout, that means it should have been $200, which is a lot of money, especially for somebody who usually, I mean, I average like 2 subs a month probably, which thanks Jedi. And somebody with my brother, maybe with Prime, but like, it's just, I guess this is a very, an American Democrat way of thinking where they should maybe not tax the small people so much. Like if you get less than $100 payout per month, maybe they take 20% instead of the higher amount, because the people that are getting thousands and thousands of dollars are getting money from the ad revenue and stuff anyway as part of sponsorship. So really their cut to Twitch would be totally different than if it was one of us streaming and we happened to get a payout because we had 10 subs that month or whatever. It's kind of not fair. But like you said, it's not about the money. But when you get that check and you're like, holy cat, I can buy my new microphone or your pop filters and your backdrops, whatever it is. I mean, of the 2 or 3 that I've had besides the tattoo, it's always gone back into the stream, a new keyboard, a new webcam, a new ring light, whatever. Yeah. And that's a huge deal for the small people. And I don't expect to get a payout ever. Maybe once a year. That'd be awesome. But that requires me to stream, which I suck at. So that's not great. But it is a big deal for the little guys. And for Twitch to take that much kind of sucks, but what are we going to do about it? Yeah, there's these other platforms, but it's not as easy to stream on your phone necessarily, or you just have that kind of one-stop shop for the most people you watch. And unless there's a mass exodus, which has been attempted several times before, you're going to always come back to Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of got us on a bit of a stranglehold. Like,
yeah.
We're like, it's the best platform for streaming at the minute. I know YouTube is making a lot of moves on their end and sort of catching up and doing a lot of things that are appealing to like smaller streamers as well. I've seen quite a few people make the jump, and again, it's just moving that community that is so embedded on Twitch
right
to YouTube, which we all use anyway.
Yeah,
like it's not as if we don't use it, but watching live streams, it's so like that's your sole focus of when you open Twitch, you're going to watch a stream. Whereas YouTube, you can
it's a rabbit hole.
Easily be distracted. Yeah. Before you know it, you're watching, horses getting milked or something. Crazy,
because that's what we all would end up on YouTube eventually.
I thought that was Mike. I thought that was just Mike streaming. I got confused.
Yeah, I mean, this is a difficult one, and it's one that I've my personal view, and like when I think about it from like a professional economical like businessy view, are very different in that. So personally, I don't think I've ever subscribed to anyone outside of the Amazon Prime free subscription,
which I don't even know if you can do anymore. I can't find it as an option on the computer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I haven't subscribed to anyone in a long time, but that's what all I used to do is just give my friends the free Amazon one every month, because ultimately it's a difficult one because I can't afford to subscribe to, because if I start subscribing to one of my friends, then I'm going to feel like I need to subscribe to lots of my friends, and I can't afford that. I also, there's so many content creators out there. Like you've got it becomes a point of then you've got to think about, well, which one do I really want to give my money to? I'm very against giving it to the ones that are already, like you say, those that are getting out there and making the hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, the millions, whatever it works out. They don't need my money. They've got enough of money from everyone else that's paying them consistently.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give my money to them either. I think it's a weird market that we've, not us specifically, but as the general public, that we've created with this. Because, like you say, we have Twitch has only got the stranglehold it's got because we've allowed it to get to that point by being the consumers that we are and going, we'll pay for it. We'll pay for to watch somebody play games when they were doing that a week ago. I didn't pay for them.
Like I get a tiny picture for this big for like for £6 a month. Well, what?
From like an economic business point, I do think it's pretty shitty of Twitch. Like they could drop that to 20 or 30% and still be absolutely rolling in it.
Okay, let's put it this way: if it wasn't about the money, which it isn't, would you still use
Twitch?
Then would you still use Twitch? Is Twitch the best platform for the sake of streaming, or are you only on Twitch because there's a payout that's easy to get?
Twitch is, I think, the streaming that I did do. I never streamed for money because I never went to that affiliate status. But when I was streaming, I think arguably, especially now that Mix has gone, Twitch is the best and easiest format. It's the only format that is fully embedded in like every console currently,
and on your phone, and super easy.
You can exactly. It's everywhere, and it's super accessible and super easy to use. What we really need is
Facebook, but that's not really like.
I don't want to be streaming to my aunt or my nan. Like that's all. Facebook's just your old relatives talking about if it's going to rain today and they need to put their washing out. Like, what we need here is we almost need like an OnlyFans mix up. So you know how like OnlyFans came out of nowhere a couple of years ago and it kind of now it just dominates. We just need a new streaming platform to just come out of nowhere, just absolutely knock Twitch off of its pedestal. Obviously Mixer tried, failed. Will we get anything that's gonna do the same? Probably not. I don't think YouTube's ever gonna get there, not to the same level.
I mean, it's got the potential to, but it's a different type of audience over on YouTube. I think
the big, because what you were discussing about, if I was gonna support someone that I want to support, I would potentially go to their Patreon or their Ko-fi or whatever it is they've got, because I know they're going to get more money from that. I think the problem is the general population of people that watch streams don't think like that. They just go, I'll just give money to the person in front of me that I want to watch, especially when you consider one of the highest payers, for example, Ninja, who streams Fortnite. I imagine a lot of his, I can't say for definite, but I imagine a lot of his followers are between a certain age range. They can give a shit. They're not looking at this from an economical standpoint of what's the best rate that Ninja's getting. They're just giving him a subscription.
Yeah. Well, and those kids are like getting Twitch gift cards for Christmas to spend on free content. Like that's the thing. So I just struggle with the concept of paying to watch people play something that's no different than if it was a free viewer. Like I'm all for like supporting my friends, but like none of us are doing this for a living. It's just like you said, does go back to the stream, and there's something about being part of a hype train that's fun. But if there was just a donation goal or like for a specific microphone or a specific like Bean Boozled box or something, and you could just pay them through PayPal or something without a huge fee, like that's way more intriguing to me. Like setting those goals and getting the money towards it instead of the subscriptions. Because then I was thinking too, if Ninja really was making $1 million a year or whatever from Twitch, he was really making twice that and only got half of it, essentially. I'm sure there was some deal worked out, but like that.
Yeah, I think it's a little different for partners. They have.
Well, and since he was
like a
such
contract.
He brought so much money in and viewers to Twitch as just a platform in general, whatever. But I don't know. The idea of paying to watch anybody play anything when I could do it for free is pretty stupid. That's like paying to park your car when it's a free lot. Like, why? I don't understand.
Say that. I just want to spin this on a slightly adult head. The pornography industry, pretty much, you can access most pornography for free. Yet somehow that industry still makes a disgusting amount of money.
Well, it's like saying you could pirate a movie instead of going to the theater.
No, but
I
but
mean,
you're not pirating it, are you? Like, as in, you could go online right now, and there are hundreds of websites that you can access for
there's a
free
lot of
pornography. You
there's
don't,
a lot of
yeah, you
stupid
don't,
people out there.
you
Yeah,
don't have to pay for like you have to pay for a film. Like, if you want to go and see a Marvel film, or if you want to own a Marvel film, you have to pay for it, or you have to have a streaming subscription service. That's not the same with adult content of that nature. You can find it anywhere for free, yet somehow it still makes money consistently of a disgustingly large amount. So there are people out there that are paying for it, and that's arguably the same thing that's happening with streaming, isn't it? Like, you can go and watch it for free, but there are people out there that are paying for it to a disgusting degree.
I guess it depends how much money you have available at your disposal in terms of just like exposable income, where you can be like, yeah, I can afford to subscribe to this guy for a month, whatever, and that's great. And honestly, maybe I should sub to a couple more people, but at the same time, it's like, okay, and then if they're expected to sub to me, then we literally both just exchanged money and both lost $2.50. Like,
Yeah.
what's the
all
point?
you're doing in that
pays us some
situation,
fuel money.
You're literally losing.
All you are doing is giving money to Twitch. It's like, if you
Yes.
and Mike were to sub to each other, you're both just paying Twitch. That's all you're doing. Neither of you are gaining anything out of this. You're just paying Twitch.
It's just a broken idea. Like, I guess
that-
it probably made sense in the beginning. I always thought Twitch's payout was like 25%. I didn't know it was 50. So I'm a little
they're
not
quite
happy right now
50%,
about
yeah.
that too. Thinking back, like, well, shit, that like it's not. I don't know. It just takes away from the viewer and the streamer experience, I guess, because if you are doing some stupid goal with the beans, or the beans is my favorite one. I just don't partake in it because I'm not dumb. Sorry. Or like the tattoo, it's literally taking twice as much effort and money from the viewers than it should, just because Twitch wants their payout, and that's whatever. We're not going to do anything about it. We can't change it. But
Yeah, like another thing as well, like the threshold for a payout is so high for a smaller streamer. That say someone that's just pulling in the the 3 average viewers. That's standard for like your affiliate goal. Yeah, like
That's me.
myself. So like that $100 goal can be there all year, and if you decide to give up on that, then all that money just goes straight to Twitch. Like, you don't see a penny of it until you hit the $100. So it's such like a high mark, I think.
Yeah.
For someone who's streaming to 3 friends and they're all supporting him or whatever, which is great. But
maybe they need to adopt like like the UK like economy tax system. Have it so like the first £50 you make is like you get all of it. You get all 100%. And then everything from like there to, if you start making so much money, it works at like 10%. And then if you get up into the big boys and you are the ninjas of the world, then that's when they start taking 50-60%, because you're making disgusting amounts of money now, or like 40% to keep them in the business.
That's kind of what I meant by the American Democrat model.
Yeah, maybe that's the model they need to go down, like a taxation system.
Tax the rich, basically.
Yeah.
There's definitely other stuff they can be doing, but they just don't have to. Like, we're just happy paying all of this, and they don't have to change unless they're kind of forced into it by YouTube adopting something like that, where it's like, there is no pay threshold, or we only take 5% of the cut or whatever.
Mike, do you have Mike, do you have PayPal linked to your stream as donations?
I set up like a Ko-fi thing, and started some goals there.
Do you get the whole thing?
Yeah, they don't take any percentage. Which
I wondered if PayPal did. I thought somebody said they did one time, but I didn't think they would. But maybe if it's a widget through Twitch, maybe they take some. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've got no donations or anything like that. Like, I've literally just set it up.
When you throw in these other monetization apps and like systems as well, again, going back to there's so many different people to then give your money to, is those open it up even more, because obviously Twitch is just streamers, but you work into Patreon and Ko-fi and whatever the other ones are called, and now you've got artists on there who are trying to create artwork. You've got podcasters who have Patreon set up for their podcast communities. You've got the adult content that we referred to earlier. You've got people that like are making and selling stuff, and suddenly that you've now got even more people. So one of our good friends, who's also a member of the Triple XP team, Max, he has a Ko-fi page for his artwork, and now I'm like, well, I could give some money to you, Mike, for your streaming, but now I've got one of my oldest, closest friends who's trying to raise money for artwork. Do I put some money towards his Ko-fi for that, or it opens it up even more, doesn't it? And so, well, where's my money best placed?
Yeah, but I think that's kind of obviously personal choice, and it's up to you how you spend your money or whatever.
The personal choice is it's best placed in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
Doesn't go anywhere.
I think that's where it kind of pushes creators to be more creative with it and come up with new and interesting goals and reasons to incentives essentially that outside of Twitch. Like Twitch has got sort of emotes and it's all built into the system. But like if you're sort of going through Patreon, then you have to push yourself to be more creative, I think, and then get more involved with it, kind of thing, and give some creative freedom to your community and things like that, and sort of give back to them. That's
actually a pretty good point. And I don't mean this about any of my friends that I don't sub to at all, I promise. But everybody's watched some streams before where you're not giving them money. Like some people are just not good at streaming. Why? I'm not going to give you money for you to just still suck. I'm sorry. Like
I mean, Cheese, me and you are prime examples of that. Like, you're a terrible streamer. I'm not a great streamer.
I have some outlandish ideas sometimes, and then I never do any of them. I still want to do the puppet show stream someday, though. That'd be pretty funny. That'll happen. But with Kermit back here, maybe that'll happen sooner than later. We'll see. But there's just some people who are not good streamers, and a sub goal is not good. Even if they had 1,000 viewers per stream and they were still terrible streamers, they don't deserve a cent.
And this links
at
into
least from me.
No, and I completely don't know what you're saying, and this links into something I was just thinking about. In that the other thing is obviously the succeeding on Twitch and earning, like you say, earning that first 100 or earning anything substantial is so difficult because of just the sheer number of people that are on Twitch.
Yeah.
And you're up against, like you say, you're up against some top tier streamers who can play games all day long, every day. You're up against people like Amaranth who dance and do ASMR all day, every day. You're up against just chatting streams. You're up against people that have got artwork levels of Bob Ross that are like painting on stream, face makeup.
Bob Ross is on Twitch.
That's what I mean. You're up against all sorts, and then you have to. I do wonder, like, how is this affecting those people that are going in, like you say, Cheese, that aren't very good streamers, but they don't see it, aren't getting the money that they think they deserve. How is that then affecting things like their mental health, their ability to like do other things and focus their energy in the right place? Because they're going to be going into that every day thinking, yeah, no, I'm good enough. And sometimes they're, like you say, sometimes they're just not.
I think it really comes down to what you want out of it. Like if you go into it expecting to become a professional streamer, you probably need to have a level head and check yourself at the door. But at the same
say
time,
that, but I think everybody goes in first time thinking I'm going to be a professional streamer.
That's like saying you think you're going to win the lottery because you bought a ticket. Like it just doesn't work that way.
No, I know what you're saying, but I think that is the first mindset that near enough everybody will have is, if I start streaming, I could make a living off this, and I could become professional. Everybody has that first thought, and then you do it for a couple of months, and you go, you know what? Actually, I should have just gone and done this for fun, or I should have just done this to play with friends, or you know what? I need to change it up. Me and Mike both did it when we first streamed. I need to stop thinking about the numbers. I need to stop thinking about the viewership and all that sort of stuff. Because the first time you go in, you're so overwhelmed by all the different numbers, all the different things you're tracking. It's hard to break away from that thought path at first.
That can really grind you down as like, because for me it was always like a creative process of streaming and trying to improve it and things like that, and then you start getting bogged down with like the numbers and things like that, and it it just drains you. Like it's awful, man. It's like a little disease. Like once you start focusing in on the numbers, like that's all you can think about. And then you'll stream and you'll have like, one day you'll have like a random stream and you've got like 50 viewers, and then the next day you've got 3, and it's just like so crushed, like soul crushing. Like it's happened to me a few times, like in the past, where I've been focused on the numbers, and it's just not where streaming for me that's just not where it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun when people watching are like getting involved, and you're doing stupid stuff for money or whatever, like for subs or things like that. Like as long as like people are having fun in the stream, I think that's like the main focus for me anyway, creatively, is like that's where the fun is.
Yeah, and I think if having streamed previously and also the creation of this podcast in itself, my advice to anybody going into streaming is don't think about the money, don't think about the numbers, just try to build a community, because that's ultimately when you're going to get the best and most fun out of it.
That's how we're
And
here
both
in the
of you-
first place.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This
we all met
podcast
through it.
only exists because of streaming, because we all met each other through streaming. And we are part of a community that has all joined together because of streaming at some point. And people really need to focus on that as opposed to the numbers and the money, because that's when you're going to get the most enjoyment out of it.
There's something to be said too about what it is you play. Like there's such huge communities around games like Hollow Knight and Minecraft and take your pick. But there's some stuff that just people don't watch, and that just happens. I mean,
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a lot of my like favorite games, like if you look at their numbers on Twitch, again, just focusing on numbers, like they have sites here reviewers, like one of my favorite games, like I forgot what it is, Moonlighter.
It's
which is like
such a favorite game.
yeah,
top tier game.
but it is.
Skyrim.
It's one that
Don't
I
know what
always
it's called.
play. Yeah, Skyrim.
Tony Hawk.
No, Moonlighter is it's like an indie game, and it just has like no viewers. So just like I've streamed it a few times, and it's just to no one, and it's just like. But this is like where it becomes key of like building a community. So it doesn't matter what you're playing, like as long as your community's there, like, and they'll watch that. If they're if they're there for you and not the game.
That's the thing, and that's what you want them there for you. But on the note of indie game, before I segue into a different topic, because I feel like we've been on this for a while.
We have hammered
if
away
you
at this.
if you are listening and you do have any views on this, Mike has been talking a lot about it on Twitter. So do head on over to the Triple XP Twitter or Just Mike Plays and talk about your views, because I know he would be very interested in hearing them.
Let's talk about it. It's an interesting conversation to have. I think.
But on the note of indie games, Cheese, you've been playing a lot of indie games. I say indie games, one specifically.
On multiple consoles, though, if that counts.
As in, so you've got more than one running.
A multi-platform
It's
game
not.
now.
It's not cross-platform, is it?
It's not cross-platform, so it's multiple farms. So I started. Okay, so let's start over. I've always wanted to play Stardew Valley. There was just something about it that looked appealing. I liked the little Stardew Valley sign, like the 8-bit looking design and the little music. I loved it, and for some reason, I just never got around to playing it. I've bought so many stupid games that I've never even played, or I have played and they proved to be stupid anyway. And Stardew Valley was like $15. And so one day, a couple weeks ago, I was going to stream because I'm trying to do that again. And I went onto Xbox Game Pass on PC and Stardew Valley had just been added. I'm like, holy crap, finally, I can give it a whirl. Let's just see what happens on stream. Maybe somebody will pop in that has played it before, because I didn't realize the game had been out since 2016. So maybe I can get some help getting started and I'll go from there. Streamed it for, I think, several hours. I think it was like 4 or 5 hours, maybe my longest stream ever. And I couldn't stop. I loved it. And so then my wife wanted to use my computer to play The Sims. And so I went downstairs and I bought it on the Switch. So I started over, figured it out. I've put too much time. I don't even want to guess how many hours publicly in the last week. And it's just, there's something about this game that is so charming, from the dumb little sayings to this punk ass bitch neighbor kid named Shane. I don't know what it is about him, but he hates me. Absolutely hates me. So I started giving him trash just to piss him off. But he'll walk up to me like, I don't know, you go away. Why are you talking to me? And like, whoa, man, I'm just the local farmer. So if you haven't played Stardew Valley, I strongly recommend it. Like I say, it was $15 on Switch. It's free on Game Pass right now, and it's probably $10 to $20 at any given time on PlayStation. You can get it on your iPad for $5. So I have it on my iPad and my phone now too. It's a little bit of an issue.
I think
Go
the
ahead.
best place to play this is the Switch, in my opinion, just because it's.
I agree.
I liked playing on the PC. It was fine with a controller. So I would say between the two, it's pretty much the same thing. The Switch, though, it does seem like the perfect game for a Switch to be able to take with you somewhere. It's kind of Pokemon-esque and Animal Crossing-esque mixed with like some Minecraft. You run a farm. You can have animals. You can plant trees. You can go to the mines. You can fish. Take your pick, man. There's so much to do. One big thing that I've been talking about the last several days is how it compares to Animal Crossing, because I loved that game. But it's like if you took Animal Crossing and made it 10,000 times better. Not only in terms of like the size of the map, the villagers, like there's not so much emphasis on like who comes and goes and how rare they are. It's all the same people in the same layout in the same town. You can do some different. You can do some different things, I suppose, right?
Unlike Animal Crossing, you don't start off disgustingly in debt.
Yep, you don't have to pay for your house. You don't ever have to do anything, which is the best part. You can focus on chopping down trees for a certain goal. You can focus on planting pumpkins for the most money, whatever. But unlike Animal Crossing, where if it's 2:48 p.m. right now, it's 2:48 p.m. in your game. Stardew Valley, it's like an accelerated clock. So I think 10 minutes is 10 seconds. And you can fly through a day in like an hour, and then you can move on to the next day and keep going with your goals and see if your plants grew and whatever.
That was a huge turnoff for me on Animal Crossing.
It's hard to get addicted to when there's nothing to do, especially in the very beginning. It's a tough game to fall in love with because it wants nothing to do with you after like 2 hours a day. You're like, I need more, and you won't let me.
Yeah.
But Animal Crossing feels a little bit like, particularly those beginning hours, feels a lot like it was almost built for the mobile gamers that are going to dip in for that hour or two a day and then leave it alone for the rest of the day. Yep. Whereas we're all like, when we get a game, we want to sit down and put like 2, 3, 4 solid hours into it, and then do that again the day, the next day, and then do that again the next day, and then go, shit, I've got work and I haven't slept for 3 days. But
I feel that hard this week.
Yeah, but that's not how Animal Crossing's built. It's built for people to just dip in and out, go in, do your challenges for that day, or the bits you've got to do that day, and then come away.
Yeah, Stardew's a little more hardcore. It reminds me of a game called Doodle God too. I don't know if you guys ever played that, where you basically take like, you take dirt and water and you make mud, and then you can take mud and heat and make clay, and go on and on and on. And that's what Stardew reminds me a lot of too. Another thing,
I got really addicted to that game, and then I got really into it. And we were both just like, "Oh my god, how did you make that?
It's so stupid, awesome!" Yeah. And then you just Google it, and you're like, "Well, this is dumb. It's no longer fun." But there's something about Stardew's little charm too. The animation style is so perfect throughout the entire game. The music is awesome, even though it gets a little repetitive. You still are like, "Deem, deem, deem," like you just hum along with it every single time because it just makes you happy.
It's relaxing, isn't it?
It is.
It's really relaxing.
It's
music.
A very relaxing game in general, and it's on a 28-day season clock. So basically, that was impressive. Was that a sneeze?
Yeah.
What happened there?
I sneezed.
We're gonna start doing like a highlight of the pod, and that'll like be a replay at the end.
That was an amazing shot. It was just the face afterwards where you were
looking
like,
up like.
Hoping nobody noticed.
Oh, we all notice now. Let's draw more attention. If you missed it, rewind 10 seconds and watch it again. But so you're basically working on a 4-season clock, which is how time in space works. But 28 days, and then you're on to summer, fall, winter, spring, and then each season allows you to grow different things or whatever. But the whole,
So if anyone isn't sure, the game works on the normal seasons of the world.
but
So
20,
it's
but
summer,
28
spring,
days,
autumn, and winter.
28 days is a little odd though. I don't understand why it's 28.
That is.
I thought it was 30, and then I lost a bunch of shit the first couple of months or first couple of seasons because I didn't realize it was 28.
Have you tried the co-op? Yeah, have you played any?
I haven't.
You can play up to 4-player co-op.
I don't trust anyone to help me with that. It's only local co-op though, isn't it?
No, it's online co-op, but the host has to be playing for the others to be able to join him.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's not like
we should try that.
Yeah,
You
it's
have
not
to
like
build
server based.
Each person a house of their own, don't you?
That would be
If you
awesome.
set it to
Multiplayer
if you
hall
set
or
it to 4, if you set it to 4 players to start with, it will automatically put 4 houses in.
whatever. Okay.
You don't have to build the extra houses, so everybody starts with a house, but then obviously everything's shared after that. But
we should try that.
Ryan-
That'd be awesome because if you had that many people, you could essentially say, "All right, you go to the mines, you go to the forest, you go to the
Exactly
lake,
that.
and you do animals."
Well,
farm.
so Ryan, who another member of our Triple XP team,
Who's streaming
who
right now? We
he's
said we'd call him
streaming
out.
right now. He's doing his roast Ryan. He's comeback stream. He is starting a chill stream tomorrow, and I believe that's going to be a co-op Stardew on PC with 3 slots, so some of us can join him as and when we want to.
Sweet.
But it's not drop in, drop out. I think once you've got 4 people attached to that game, you can only ever have those 4 people attached to that game.
Yeah, I think this would be like a perfect game for us to sort of launch the. I'm not saying we are going to, but like
The Triple XP farm.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cheese is all in. I can see it in his
Hell
eyes.
yeah, I'm all
right
in.
here, right now.
I've already got it started.
Official.
I've already loaded up a spreadsheet. Let's go.
Yep.
Well, we'll have this many corn, and this will give us this.
It's a great game to stream too because it is pretty chill, and I feel like as a viewer it might be kind of boring to watch, but if you've played it and you love it and you know where things are and you kind of are helping somebody who's rather new, I could see it being a lot of fun to be
Also
in someone's chat.
Like obviously talking about where we're talking about quite a lot of streaming in the first part of this podcast. It ties in with what type of streamer you are. For example, Mike, you like to talk to your community a lot. You like to talk to the people that are there because that's the thing that you enjoy the most. A chill game like that allows you to do that. The amount of times I've seen you have to pause a game because you can't keep track of what's going on in the game and what's going on in your chat at the same time. Whereas actually a game like this is ideal that you can quite easily keep track of everything going on.
Whenever I've streamed this game, I've always like focused on chat and then fallen asleep in like the middle of my field or something.
Maybe not then. Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I'll be up for it. It'd be a great game. Maybe that would be our 24-hour charity stream. Just 24 hours of Stardew Valley. That's all we need. 24 hours solid.
Maybe we could do it. So
Shane, hold on. Jeez, I don't think we can hear you.
I was muted. I muted it so I could close the blind because that sun was in my eyes. I can't see anything. I'm like trying to get closer. But no, that'd be awesome. I would be all for a 24-hour. That'd be so easy. I mean, that'd get you through almost an entire year, really. But that'd be a lot of fun. It'd be easy.
And we're having a really professional pod for our first one of 2020. So Mike sneezes so hard he loses his headphones. You mute yourself.
It happens.
No, I've just got to do something in the last half to fuck me over, and then we'll be all good.
Just shit yourself.
Straight out, shit myself. Job done.
Just get it over with.
Triple XP with smell-o-vision.
Grim.
So me and Cheese have rambled on for a bit now. Shane, what are you bringing to the table this week, man?
So there's a couple of bits I wanted to talk about. But first, I just want to. I'll stick with gaming first, and then I'll talk about the other thing. So, obviously, since we did our last episode, Halo has come out. Halo Infinite. Have managed to play it. Have completed it. I just wanted to bring this up really because I wouldn't say I am a hardcore Halo fan by any means. I enjoy a bit of Halo. I dabbled in it when I was younger, but it was all right. You know, if you like an FPS, I think you should give Halo Infinite a shout. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Literally, that's it. It's all right. It's free. If you've got Game Pass,
Yeah.
you should play it. I still think that the Splitgate multiplayer is better than Halo's multiplayer, but people are going to come at me for that.
I know
I
some
actually
people
genuinely,
take your head for that.
yeah, I actually genuinely prefer Splitgate's multiplayer to Halo's
You
multiplayer.
don't need extra variables though. It's just like Fortnite. Like I don't want to build shit too, and I don't want to have to use portals. Like just let me shoot and kill and get killed and
Yeah, but
do
you
it all
can
again.
play Splitgate without having to use the portals and still do quite well.
That's what I do, but it wasn't well enough.
Yeah. There is times where I've completely forgotten to use a portal this entire game.
Yeah, I've gone games where I
When
had
he's
the
on there,
most.
nice.
Yeah, it was like the most used portals with one. It's like, how did no one portal the entire match? That's the point of this game.
The other thing I wanted to very, very quickly touch on is Cobra Kai Season 4 is out. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. That's all that needs to be said, really. Go and watch it.
We've
It's
all
fucking good.
completed it. Yeah.
We've all completed Cobra Kai. We're all karate black belts. Fact. Yeah, no, it's a if you liked seasons 1 to 3, you will love season 4. I think it's really well done. A couple of reviews I saw online were like, "Oh, it's the worst season." I don't agree with that at all. I think it's a really strong season overall.
I think it's good. Yeah,
It's got the last 2 episodes.
They're all pretty equal. I think all seasons are kind of the same. Like they've mastered the writing style of just like cheesy high school drama. And
there are some moments that I like I love the cheesiness. I really do.
I do too.
But there's some moments in this season where I was just like, this is bad. This is not even the good kind of bad. This is just
cringy.
It's a bit weird with this season because it pushes the cheesiness to 11. Like it's got some, like you say, it's got some moments of cheese where you just go, oh, even I'm not sure. But I think this is like a little bit more down to earth than the previous 2 seasons, as in like when you consider the massive school fire and the house smashing up fight, whereas this one's all contained within some
laser
more
tag fight.
Yeah, some more legitimate scenarios in this season. But those last 2 episodes are incredible. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it.
They're definitely
command it.
Yeah, they're definitely setting themselves up for several more seasons too. Not like 1 or 2. Like I could see this going on for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, they've already started filming or filmed season 5 because they were doing. I believe they were filming 4 and 5 back to back.
Yeah, you're right. And then they're already working on 6, I think.
They're already working on 6.
Wow.
And they've already discussed potentials for a spin-off series. They've also discussed that Hilary Swank's character from the next Karate Kid is being discussed as potentially coming back at any point.
Nice.
And any character that was in her film, because obviously she's part of what they class as the Miyagi-verse. And they have confirmed that Jackie Chan's version of the film is not part of the Miyagi-verse, and so it's not going to be involved in any way, shape, or form.
I mean,
about that.
until the guy that plays Daniel LaRusso is old or dead, he'll be the next Mr. Miyagi. That's the whole point, I assume. Going forward, is he's gonna become this wise old sage, and he's gonna train the future Valley champions. Which, okay, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like the whole Valley, like these kids' whole lives revolve around their city karate tournament. It's not even like it's nationals or worlds. It's like suburb of Los Angeles, municipal. Mate, like
it's the soul of the Valley. What do you want?
That's so
karate protects
stupid.
The soul of the Valley.
It's not even like a state champion, like, or I guess I don't know what your equivalent to state champion would be, but like
it's the Catalina wine mixer, mate. That's what it is.
It's just like not a big deal. I mean, that's part of the fun is how much they hype up this stupid local small scale. Like there's like 12 teams in this tournament. Like that's not even that many for like a decent sized city. No.
What's comical as well is so when you get to the tournament, there is 12, like something like 10 or 12 teams, and we only know 3 of them.
Yeah, there's like
all the other teams are irrelevant.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
Also, how many teams do they need in a single valley? Like,
right?
how big is this place? How big is this part of America to have all of these karate teams? Does like the rest of America have any karate teams, or is it all just in this one area? Who knows?
Just the mean suburbs of LA.
Yeah, but
everyone.
No, I mean
self-defense.
There's some interesting developments coming into the future. I'm not going to obviously dabble in any spoilers or anything. But yeah, there's still a lot of characters from the Karate Kid universe and let's say the Miyagi-verse.
I knew you were going to
that
say
they
it at
can
least
dabble
one more
into.
time. I was just about to say, please don't say Miyagi-verse, and sure enough.
That's what they're referring to it as. Mate, I didn't create that word. That is what they were referring to it as. The Miyagi-verse is what they're doing.
That's just more cringy than any moment of the show. Is just saying Miyagi-verse. It's too much.
I'm just waiting for
That's
the
what it
link
is.
to the
though. That's what the
MCU.
writers are focusing on. They're,
We need a Miyagi multiverse where we get like a young Miyagi, we get an older Miyagi, we get baby Miyagi.
I mean, I'm all for baby Miyagi if he's still got some sick karate skills.
Into the
Space
Miyagi-verse.
Miyagi.
I will say though, on the note of Daniel LaRusso, his character arc in this 4th season was really frustrating in that he was a real roller coaster for me. Like
He's
there were
always
points
a
I
roller
really
coaster.
no, because I genuinely dislike him throughout the entire show. Whereas this season, I really disliked him at points, but then at other points, I really liked him, and I was like, for fuck's sake, make your mind up. Are you going to be annoying, or are you actually going to be a decent human being? I can't make my mind up on this. Whereas Johnny just continues to be incredible at every turn. And
Yeah.
I stand by our previous argument. I am all about Team Tory, not Team Sam.
Yeah, I think it flipped for me. Definitely Team
It's
Tory.
all about Team Tory.
I mean, they both suck. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the way I see it as well, like Tori, she's misunderstood and she's had a bit of a shit life. You can kind of see why she's a bit of a dick to people.
that doesn't
I can
mean
go-
you
I
get to
go-
be a shitty person.
No,
or
it doesn't mean you
assault
get to be a
someone.
shit- It
Who's
doesn't
getting
mean you.
She should
no,
be
it
in jail
doesn't
for
mean-
that. That was aggravated
agree.
assault, at least. Attempted murder,
I
maybe.
agree.
She premeditated.
But she's a young child who made a few mistakes and has got a shitty life.
A lot of mistakes.
Sam, on the other hand, has a shitload of money. She's got a swimming pool in her back garden. What excuse has she got for being a dick?
She drives like a $75,000 car. No big deal.
Exactly. She has literally no excuse to be a dick. There's nothing there. I can't understand her reasoning at all, apart from just that she wants to be number one show off and wants all the boys. She just wants all them boys.
I will say,
All them boys.
I'm still going to say, without any spoilers, that Robbie's still my least favorite character in the entire show. I think he's awful. Everything about him is awful. He's never
think it's
brought
his hair
anything
for me.
good. It is his hair, definitely. He's like his like pouty face the entire time where he looks surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
awful. He's
he-
literally
yeah.
there to like make the good guy bad and the bad guy good, and he's just like the reset button every single time it's needed. It's like, oh, Robbie's
Yeah.
here. Uh-oh. Fight
Yeah,
time.
he was frustrating in season 4 as well, and I find Miguel one of the most relatable characters in that show. Like anytime he reacts to something, I think, yeah, no, I can 100% see the why you're reacting the way you're reacting to this.
He's kind of a
whereas
whiny
everybody
little
else
bitch,
reacts
though,
ridiculous.
sometimes, too. When he gets that look where he's like, I'm so disappointed in you, Sensei, but it's okay. I understand. Fucking hate it. The only
does.
character in the entire series who is 100% consistent is
Hawk.
Eli. No, not Eli.
No, all about
Fuck.
Hawk.
What's Hawk's friend's name?
I know who you mean. The tall one.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
they're like
I
the
can't- why-
What is his name?
nerd. Like,
Eli is Hawk, but what's the other kid's name? He's the only one that's the same character through and
Yeah.
through. And
Yeah, I
he's-
can't remember his name either.
I gotta look it up. The fact that we can't remember it, and I've seen it.
My
3
brain's
times.
completely. Yeah, same. And my brain's completely. I'm just thinking about Eli now.
I've only watched it once, so this is on you guys.
His name is Dimitri.
That's it,
we go.
Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Yeah, he is the most consistent character by far. I agree with you on that. But I thoroughly loved Hawk this season. He
I agree.
really
Yeah.
came into his
Yeah.
own this season. I thoroughly enjoyed Hawk's involvement in this season. I mean, that was a lot longer than what I expected. I basically just thought I was just going to tell everybody to watch it, but we got into a little bit of a debate there.
Our one
can't-
listener,
you can't
JB, is
mention
gonna
Cobra
appreciate
Kai.
that.
We got to talk about the soul of the valley. It's important. It's important to a lot of people. That All Valley Championship it's important. There was a lot of people watching it. It's
That's another
So-
thing. Like, how many people watched that? Is it just on like public television? Like, why would anybody? Oh, karate's on. Great.
I mean, I'm led to believe that karate is the number one sport in America from Cobra Kai. Like that's my understanding. Number one sport, and then
In the
quick,
Miyagi-verse it is.
In the Miyagi.
yeah. Then
verse,
swiftly
yes.
followed. Number 2 sport is then American football. and it just works its way after that. Is that right? Quiety's up top.
Apparently, I guess all these kids taking Division 1 offers to go to college for free for karate. Yeah, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah, it's all about the Quiety.
It only became the most popular sport after that one kid in some suburb in LA won some championship when he was 16 years old that time.
In like 1982.
Yeah.
Until he got
when Quiety was really cool. Like when it was really cool and upcoming in the mid 80s and everyone thought it was amazing.
so stupid. We were flipping through TV randomly, and Walker Texas Ranger was on, and the guy that plays Chosen
Amazing.
was in that episode. I'm like, I know him. He was in Cobra Kai, and Becca's like, what? I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Let's move on. So on the note of television, while we're on that as well, I just wanted to talk about some of the winter anime coming up. So we're into a new anime season, that being winter 2022. Because like Stardew, anime is released depending on what season that it is. We have like the winter season, the spring season, summer season, autumn season. So we're in the winter season now, which basically starts pretty much now. Loads of new stuff coming out. We've got the continuation of Demon Slayer. We've got the continuation or the final season of Attack on Titan, and the final season. But they're not the ones I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is a couple of new ones that are coming out. So firstly, we have one called Police in a Pod, which I'm quite interested in. It's about a young female police officer who is fed up with the job and about to quit, and she gets posted with another young female police officer who she gets to know, and for whatever reason decides that it's not the right time to quit, and there's a bit of a mystery around it. It's not really explained too much more else than that. We haven't had a full breakdown or anything of it yet, but I'm quite intrigued to see what that's all about. I've watched a few police animes in the past, and they've always been a bit of fun because they're always mental, because obviously anime is mental. Yeah, that's one I'm very interested in, but more so on the mental front, and I'm probably now going to pronounce this wrong. Sabikui Bisco, I believe it's
Sounds
pronounced.
delicious.
I mean, we're not going to correct you, I guess, because we don't know.
It looks absolutely mental, even by my standards of anime. So the trailer for it's set in this like futuristic apocalyptic world where some sort of plant disease or mushroom disease or something, basically rust has destroyed the planet. That's right, rust. Like everything has rust on it.
Oxidation.
And the main character the main character is in the search of some sort of special mushroom plant that can cure the rust. But he travels on what appears to be a giant crab. They have battle rhinos with guns attached to the back of them, and he's searching for a giant crustacean, because these mushrooms are on a giant crustacean that lives in somewhere in the world.
Makes sense.
It honestly looks like the most insane shit I've ever seen, and I'm so excited for it because I have no fucking clue what's going to happen, because it just looks that mental.
I'm down.
So you should both go and watch the trailer for that, and see what you think, because it looks insane. I will post it in our Discord later. And in fact, for all of our listeners, I will post it to our Triple XP Twitter, because I think you should all see this trailer, because it looks absolutely insane. So that's one that I highly recommend from what I've seen so far. And lastly, I don't know if you guys have heard about the film Belle. I believe its official title was something like Belle and the Dragon. It's an anime film that's due out this month in America. It's 22nd of January, I believe, in America, and it comes out in the UK the following week, 2nd or 3rd of February, I believe it is. And it's made by the guy who's been involved in things like Summer Wars. I did have a look at his career earlier because I wasn't 100% sure, but he's been involved in quite a few different things. Mirai, which came out earlier in the couple of years ago, which was really good. The Boy and the Beast, Wolf Children, which were all really good, high class anime films. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time as well. So far, it's rated.
Can I just interrupt you, Jay?
Well. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just want to talk about your name a little bit. I just want to know if Cheese has seen it yet.
No,
dude.
it's on
What's
the list.
your name?
You do need to watch it.
It's so
I need to
fucking
watch a
good.
lot of things. My
Yeah.
list is getting very long, and my time is getting very short thanks to Stardew Valley.
Oh yes. Well, this film, it's from the trailers I've seen, it looks absolutely stunning. A lot of critics have rated it with 4 or 5 stars, and saying it is an absolute wonderful piece of animation. It's been nominated for a lot of awards already, and it is a Japanese take on the Beauty and the Beast story, hence the name Belle.
Which I think is
And it is
French. Beauty and the Beast is a
yes, it
French
is.
story. Yeah.
Correct.
Just a little tidbit of fun fact there for you. A little nugget.
So my understanding is
Yeah, with it being set in France and all.
yeah, that helps.
I was just trying to like say if it's now going to like Japan for an interpretation as a new version. France did it first, then we did it. And then I'm just saying it should be different.
And it does look like it's not the traditional Beauty and the Beast story that we know.
Good.
I mean, and if you look back at some of the previous Japanese adaptations of those stories, for example, Ponyo. Have you seen Ponyo?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Have you seen Ponyo, Mike?
I think so.
Obviously,
Yeah.
That's the. It's meant to be an adaptation of like The Little Mermaid, and it's very, very different to the Little Mermaid that we would know from the sort of Western culture version.
Well, even the Disney versions are drastically different than the original fairy tales.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
French,
that's across the
like the
across the
Beauty and the
board of
Beast is
Disney
much
stuff, isn't it?
darker. Yeah, absolutely. Any fairy tale that we know like the PG version, basically.
Yeah. But ultimately, yeah, if you're into anime and you like an anime film and you want to see something that's a little bit different and a bit of a take on Beauty and the Beast, check out Belle because it looks incredible. I think me and Max are booking to go and see it when it comes out in the UK. But yeah, I'd strongly state go and see it, even though I haven't seen it yet. It looks phenomenal.
Nice. I'm gonna look that one up, see if it's coming around here.
Like a darker take on Stockholm Syndrome and bestiality.
I think the original title was something like The Princess and the Dragon, because the beast looks like a beast in this. He doesn't just look like a cuddly toy. He looks like some sort of like crazed dragon out of Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah, it says it comes out. Oh yeah, it is coming to a couple of my theaters around here. Not the one that's closest, but
there you go, Cheese. You can do a 45-minute drive to it like you do everything else.
45 minutes. It's like 20, 25.
That's a long way to go to the cinema in my world. 25 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's my cross to bear, I guess.
True. Yeah, I mean that's all. Have you two got anything else you want to bring to the episode before we start to bring it to the tie?
Just while we're on anime, I've not watched much this year.
I haven't either so far.
But I did start watching. I just kind of put it on while I was doing other stuff. But I did start watching One Punch Man again.
Because you watched it before, didn't you? As a rewatch.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah,
yeah.
So I started rewatching that, and got to say it's so much fun. Like just how it. I don't know why. Just the back of Cheese's head there just reminded me of it.
I was just looking because like I haven't watched much anime, but I'm like, oh, but I'm still buying anime things, but I haven't really gotten much new. I pretty much have it all already.
But yeah, One Punch is great. Cheese, I think you'd love it. Like
that's on my list.
You should put it. You definitely put it.
So
get it higher up on that list because
that's the issue. Is everybody tells me that every recommendation should go right to the top of my list. I'm like, I have 15 recommendations at the top of my list right now, and I'll probably just watch My Hero Academia for a 4th time.
Well, maybe stop rewatching things, and that will solve your problem.
But I can rewatch things in the background with less attention. So like while I'm cleaning my office, then I can do it versus like trying to watch the new Demon Slayer episodes, but I have to like sit down and actively pay attention to see what's happening because I haven't seen it yet.
Especially as the new Demon Slayer isn't being dubbed till like middle of the year.
Oh, so really? Okay, then I really have to like sit down and focus.
Yeah, because it's not it's not been done by Funimation. It's owned by, I think the rights were Toonami to do it, and they usually take around 6 months. So yeah, we don't expect a dub for that till later in the year, June, July time probably.
I'll probably start Attack on Titan sooner than later because I watched the first 2 seasons years ago, and they were subbed, so I'll probably watch them dubbed, and then by the time I'm caught up, hopefully this season will be over and I can finish it with everybody else.
if we could just drag your ass back to One
Back
Punch Man.
to One Punch.
I'm gonna give you some good reasons why you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
One, it's very short.
2,
Like,
there's a toy line. 3,
Yeah,
you look
yeah,
like
there's
3.
plenty of
You look
toys.
like him.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, hitting
All
all
right,
the
I'm sold.
nails.
All right, fine. All right.
And it does sort of poke fun at shows like My Hero Academia and those kind of like superhero
Yeah.
animes. But it does it in a great way. It's really funny.
It's on my
I
short
don't know.
list.
Season 3 is meant to be coming out of that.
Yeah, so there's only 2 seasons, and it's maybe around 20 episodes or something altogether.
Oh, really?
Something
That's
like
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's quite short.
Well, I can watch that in like a day.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go.
I've got time.
So
Tick that one off the list.
The last update was the 28th of December last year. They just said, we're working on it. That's it. We're working on season 3. We can't tell you when it's going to be. Just we'll work on it. It'll be at some point in the future.
It does have some fucking fantastic animation in it, and it really like switches styles as well throughout. Like there's a lot of different kind of styles of animation through it as well, which is pretty good.
Nice. I'm a
I think
sucker. I'm a
the-
sucker for animation
Oh,
style. Like
yeah,
I
it's-
really
it's a
love
little-
that. I get hooked
Same.
so fast onto anything, and that's one of the things
it's
that
a visual treat.
like Demon Slayer was definitely a kind of a change because it was that mix between like the 2D 3D background thing, which was a
Yeah.
little odd for me, but like My Hero Academia and stuff, I loved that artwork, and so from there I'm even wearing my My Hero shirt today.
Have you,
It just gets easy.
on the note of Demon Slayer, have you watched episode 1 of season 2 of Demon Slayer?
I have not. I need to.
It really, really frustrated me. So I'm on episode 3 now of season 2. And Mike, have you seen Demon Slayer?
Yeah, I've watched the
you've watched
season
season
and
1, yeah.
the movie. The
So season
Mugen Train or
2,
Mugen
like,
Train or whatever it's called.
without going into spoilers or anything, pretty much picks up straight after Mugen Train, like the very, very end scene of Mugen
Right,
Train, kind of like it picks up straight from there. But they really double down in the first 2 episodes on the comedy element
Ugh.
and not like the super serious
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
So it just, a lot of the scenes
Boo!
where they do like the,
Boo!
yeah, it was almost like, like the scenes where they do with was it Zenny Mitz? I can't remember his name. The blonde guy, where he's like legs are spinning so fast.
Zenitsu?
Yeah, and his legs are spinning so fast it looks a bit like Wile E. Coyote and
Roadrunner.
Roadrunner. They do a lot of that in episode 1, and I was just like, please just move on to like some cool fight scenes and something that's not comedy.
That was kind of my issue with the end of Mugen Train, was that like the ending didn't have enough weight to it, and then just to hear that they've gone like comedy route rather than expanding on that is kind of like a bit off.
Well, no, so they have expanded on that. So they, as well as alongside Mugen Train, they've now released a 7-episode reworking of Mugen Train.
I haven't watched that
And
one
the fir-
either.
Yeah, the first 3 episodes are all about the guy in Mugen Train that obviously we see at the end, the main
Rengoku?
Rengoku.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rengoku.
Yeah,
So the first 3 episodes just kind of get you to build up a little bit more of an understanding of him, so that makes that ending of that movie a bit more impactful.
Mhm.
The problem is they should have done that prior to the film coming out, because like all of us, we all went into that film coming out of it going, I didn't really care about that ending because I didn't know
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why that was important.
yeah.
So they have expanded on that, and those episodes were good. But now we've gone into the entertainment district arc, and that is where they've kind of doubled down on the comedy element at the beginning. But I'm hoping now.
I'm sure they'll
episode
turn it
4
around.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. It's just frustrating. Like I wanted it to
Yeah.
get straight back into the Demon Slayer I loved,
Yeah.
and not
That whole
this
comedic
like.
that whole comedic element thing all started changing when Guardians of the Galaxy came out. That was really like the first shift where suddenly every Marvel movie had to be funny. All these giant blockbusters had to have these catchy one-liners and these memorable quotes, and I absolutely hate that. It destroys so many good things. Like Spider-Man is supposed to be funny. Great. But like Thor doesn't need to be funny. Like Hulk doesn't need to be
I mean,
funny. Like, it's
I
just-
think you'll find that Thor Ragnarok proved that Thor does need to be funny.
Thor Ragnarok
Yeah.
came out after Guardians of the Galaxy, though, which is a very different Thor than the first two. That's my whole point.
Exactly, and it was
The
the
first two
first
were
four
fucking
that was
awful.
really successful.
Thor
Like the
could have
first two
been a
four was
super
horrible.
Thor should have been a very dark movie. He's not like a happy character. He's a destructive god of thunder. They could have done so much better. Point is, Guardians of the Galaxy ruined everything, and I stand by that.
Two things. But you're wrong on 2 counts. You're wrong on the 4 count. Because Chris Hemsworth has even said that they were actually looking to get rid of Thor if Ragnarok hadn't have turned his character around, because he was the most hated character because his first 2 films were so boring.
I didn't
Like
hate
Dark
him.
World was shockingly bad. But anyway, coming away from Marvel, anime has always done this. Anime has always had this like comedic element. Have you ever heard of Rooney Kenshin?
Do you expect
Quite
me to
an
have?
old
You knew the
school
answer to
anime
that
now.
question before you even started that sentence.
Yeah, I should have guessed that really. So Rurouni Kenshin is there's like live action films for it now. There's it's a really long anime, like 90 plus episodes, and it's essentially about this like samurai who went through some real shit during like the time of the samurai wars, swore to never kill anyone again. So he now has a blade the wrong way round. So the sharp part of the blade is on the inside, and the dull side is on the outside. So when he strikes people, he's always striking them with the dull side, and he has to make a conscious effort to switch the blade round to use the sharp side.
What's the point
Because
of
he doesn't
having a
want to kill
sword
anyone.
then?
Because he is a master. He's like one of the greatest swordsmen to ever live, and he unfortunately gets in a lot of trouble because of that. And that was that was a prime series to have so much serious element to it, but then loads of comedy in it at the same time, and they kept switching these 2 styles of animation. So when you had the comedy element, it would be one style of animation, but when it went into the super serious, it would have this other style of animation. Anime's always done that, and I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy was the problem.
Anime's obviously like perfected over the years of
Yeah,
being able to just make those switches, like, and it works as well. Like, I know it might be a bit of a disconnect, like especially with you with Demon Slayer, like at times.
Oh, it's
but
not. I enjoyed it. I just wanted it. I just prefer the non-comedy side of Demon Slayer. I just wanted it to go back to that. It's not. It didn't disconnect at all. And like you say, because the way they switch the animation styles, it works so well. They're really clever with how they do it. It just frustrated me because I wanted to see more like water breathing and fire breathing and all that shit.
Yeah, they definitely can't rely on it. Like there's definitely funny parts in the first season of Demon Slayer, and it's great, but they shouldn't rely on it if they don't know what else to do with that episode.
Exactly. But anyway, before we just went and we were tying towards the end of that and just went on a full rant following that one punch statement. So is there anything else we want to add before we start this episode?
No.
No.
You can.
Just I guess like the PS Plus games, like we could briefly mention about Deep Rock Galactic came out.
Super fun.
Along with Dirt 5 and
Persona 5 Strikers.
Yeah, still I've not played yet. But there's 3 fucking great games there. Like
it's one of the strongest PS Plus like giveaways for, as far as I can, since the PS5, I think. Strikers is great. It's a bit like Dynasty Warriors in its combat style, but it tells a brand new story. It's set a year after Persona 5, and it's a brand new story. It's not an add-on to the first story. So
that could be a good jumping in point for Persona players. If people have been thinking about maybe playing 5.
I tried.
I tried.
I gave it 2 hours.
What I would say is you could pick up and play Persona 5 Strikers without having played Persona 5, but you would get more from it going into it having played Persona 5 because you'll know all the characters.
Yeah.
It is more of a sequel in that it's set a year later, but it introduces everyone quick enough in the beginning that you could just pick it up and play and enjoy it well enough. The music's all similar, the styles all similar, so you get all that real cool feel that Persona 5 had, but just with a different style of combat.
So, like, the way I've been looking at it is like, I need to play Persona 5 first before I play that, and that's such a daunting like task in itself, like, because that game's like 200 hours plus at least, and then being able to play Strikers, but then
you can do
maybe like play them the other way around.
You can do Persona 5 in under 90 hours.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that.
90 hours. I was watching YouTube videos the other day, and these Stardew Valley people said they had 2,000 hours into the game. I'm like, what the hell? That's a lot of time for farming.
Let me ask how long to beat.
Yeah, that's like the standard, isn't it? Industry standard. How long to beat?
Persona. So if you were to go with Persona 5 Royal, how long to beat currently states that the main story is about 103 hours.
What was
Completion is to be 143 hours.
Yeah.
I did it in about 98, but that's because I'd already seen the story in the first game and I skipped most of the cutscenes because I already knew them all.
Not to keep dragging on, but what was the game that's coming out that just announced like yesterday?
Dying Light.
500
Dying Light 2.
hour gameplay.
Yeah, Dying Light.
Ridiculous.
No thanks.
But yeah,
that's so off-putting to
it's
me.
just
like.
Also, especially if you're a trophy hunter, like if there is a platinum trophy locked behind 500 hours of gameplay, no thank you. But just going back to the PS Plus games, yeah. So Persona 5 Strikers is really strong. Dirt 5 is really strong. It's got like
Really fun,
Motorstorm vibes to it. I don't know if you had the same thing. I don't know if you ever played Motorstorm.
Yeah. For
got
a racer, it's decent. It's good.
Yeah,
and it has great dual sense controls to it as well.
Solid.
Yeah, really good.
And Deep Rock Galactic, which if you're on PC or Xbox, has been out for a couple of years.
Yeah,
on Game Pass.
I played it on Game Pass maybe a year ago, and it was good fun. The people I was playing with didn't love it, but I could see it being a fun game to drink and play with your friends on a Friday night. Nothing serious, nothing difficult.
So saying that, on Friday night, me and Mike played it till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a very fun game to play with friends.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good times I've had. But it's just like the perfect balance of sort of like really chilled and then just sort of
really
like
manic,
quite intense action as well. Like it's a nice little balance between the two.
I should see if I still have PlayStation Plus, and I'll download it. Maybe we can all play. That'd be a good little stream too.
Yeah, that'd be a solid little game to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that literally is everything now. That is everything we need to talk about.
Yeah, if we keep talking, we won't have anything to talk about in 2 weeks.
Exactly. So, Mike, do you want to do the honors?
Right, yeah. So that was the episode. You can catch us all on Twitter. We're all pretty active on there. Discord is on there. There's all links below. Hopefully, Jesus has done his job right.
I think you did your job right. I think they just stay there. I think they show up every time. This quickly turned into me editing everything.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been this week's episode. Join us next week. We'll be doing something completely different. Maybe, I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows what the next episode will bring? It's as much an adventure as it is to you as it is to us.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
We're done.
Bye.
Triple FD.